Stalker here. So I thought I'd tell you about the next thing we had that happened over the winter. Now, if anybody's followed me on Instagram, you know, once in a while I'll post a picture of one of our cats. And right now we only have two. And we've been having problems with one of them for a little over a year. Missing the litter box. And it's not a case of he's not trying, he just, you know, 10 cat steps, 5 cat steps, 1 cat step away and not quite making it. And we had tons of trips to the vet, and they really had run out of things to do. And they finally suggested that we'll have to send him up to Guelph University, where they have the veterinary hospital. And this is where all the you know, this research is done for the you know, to make sure there's lots of gravel here. They do a lot of research on animals and that. Actually, this particular cat we have, his name is Dexter. He's a Toiger. I'll put a picture up here. Kind of, it's an exotic cat breed. Haven't been around that long. If you know what a Bengal is, a Toiger is basically similar to a Bengal, just as they have stripes versus the pattern like a leopard or a jaguar. And the interesting thing is the personality is a bit different. So Bengals are actually very chatty, in other words, which is a polite way of saying is they never shut up. And Toigers don't really talk very much, but when they do, it's like it, you know, you turn the dial to 11. That's a normal conversation for a Toiger. Like when he decides he wants some attention or wants something, doesn't matter where you are in the house, you can hear him. But they're lovable, friendly, all that sort of stuff. He's overall, he's a pretty good cat. So we ended up taking him up to Guelph University, and they warned us it would be expensive. Boy, oh boy, they weren't kidding. But they did all their tests and analysis, and you know, they got the X-ray. They did a scope down his system and whatnot, and ultrasounds and blood tests, and they came back with what our vet had initially suggested like almost a year ago, which is he has irritable bowel syndrome, which is, it's actually starting to become more common in pets. But he has had it really, really bad. And the drugs that our vet had prescribed for him, they you know, they would work and then they stopped working. Well, the animal hospital, what they did was they changed it up a little bit, using some slightly different drugs, very similar but slightly different, but a different procedure and whatnot. And you know, it took a while, but actually it seemed to have cured him. Now the only thing they warned us was that chances are he'd probably have to be on these drugs for the rest of his life, and that's the way it ended up being. The drugs themselves are not expensive. Of course, he's on a special diet, and he can't have any other thing but his particular food and all that sort of stuff. But if you're curious as to how much it costs to take a cat to a veterinary hospital in the university, we were into it for over $3,000 Canadian. So it wasn't cheap. And it was funny, we were talking to some people that had to do the same thing with their dog, and it was like they were in that neighborhood as well. So apparently we're not the only ones. So it was a very, very, very expensive week. And at the same time, we're heading up to Guelph in my wife's car, because it was we were ultra cold snap. It was like minus 30 something Celsius. It was stinking cold. and something, her car was making a noise, and it was only when you turned the steering wheel. You drove in a straight line, it was fine, but if you turned the steering wheel a little bit, it would make like a bit of a clunking sound. But the car steered properly and all sorts. We don't know what. But anyways, we took it to the shop, and her car broke a front strut spring. And the mechanic, in all their years, they've never seen that. They don't have a clue what happens. It just might have been a bad one or something like that. Like, the car wasn't new. The car was about 5 years old, so it's not like a case that it was you know, a brand new car and defective. It's just, he said it could have been the cold weather. So that was another $700. So we were like, in 1 week we were like almost $4,000, and it was like, wow, that's awesome. And of course, like, my wife and I are both retired, so it's not like we can go work extra hours to make that money up. It basically meant, well, I guess we got to watch our spending for a bit. So that was our wonderful experience in the middle of February. And just for the record, Dexter's doing okay. He's doing the typical thing. Just wish he had learned to tell time, because 5 o'clock is not our get up time, which he seems to think it is. So, but they're cats, you can't tell them anything. So anyways, just thought I'd let you know something else that happened over the winter. If I was someplace else where I actually could ride my motorcycle, you would have heard the rant and rave right away, but at that time there was a couple feet of snow and ice around. So anyways, hope you enjoyed it. DeathsStalker signing off.